Well, guys, welcome back to the ETA Vault. Um, I'm your host, Wayne Newton. I'll be here guiding you through this thing. We got kind of a special show tonight, and I don't really know if you want to call it a show or not. It's more of a kind of educating you on some uh, the whole Elvis conspiracy thing. Ever since I was a kid, back in 1977, I was born in 1971, but Elvis supposedly died in 1977, August 16th of 1977. But did he die? Did he die? I don't think he did. I don't. I really don't. And I never have. Um, my gut has told me, and some of the evidence that has been shown to me over the years, and things I've heard, and things I've seen, and well, I don't get me wrong. I'm just like you. Draw your own opinion, do your own research. Everything that I say is just in my opinion. And that's the bottom line, right there. Everything that we talk about, as far as what might have happened, what might not have happened, you know, that's draw your own conclusions, man. But I'll tell you why I think what I think, and then later on in the video, we'll maybe discuss why I think that. But if you guys have any questions or anything on anything we talk about tonight, please comment. I'll be happy to answer any questions, and I'm going to try to answer some of those questions for you tonight. But we're going to get started, and that is in 1977. Elvis was pronounced dead at Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee. And the world mourned. I think they mourned Elvis's passing more than, at least if not more than any other entertainer that's ever lived. Elvis, he was just a force to be reckoned with, man. Elvis touched so many lives. And then, you know why he touched so many lives? Because Elvis had a heart of gold. And I honestly believe that Elvis Presley was put here for one reason. And that one reason was to be adored. And he was. And he continues to be. He was an incredible entertainer, one of the greatest ever. Don't get me wrong, there's other entertainers that have come and gone, like Prince. Prince was an unbelievable talent in his own right. Could play tons of musical instruments, and of course he wrote all his own songs, and he was beloved by all. And I think he, in my opinion, is the only other one that was second to Elvis. So that's the situation right there. Oh look, I'm absorbing into the vault. That's crazy. But in 1977, of course, the world heard the first news, that Elvis had passed away. And a few days later, his daddy went on national TV and announced the death of his son. And it was heart-wrenching, man. It was. I'll never forget. the death of Elvis. I was only 7 years old. But I remember my mama. My mama cried big tears. And I know a lot of the world did as well. There's been so many flowers and gifts still to this day that and they still have a candlelight vigil every year in Memphis. Now I've been to Memphis one time for the big Elvis week. That's what they call it. You know, they do the candlelight vigil, and it's a week-long celebration of Elvis's music and Elvis's life, and they have competitions and, well, you know, being a tribute artist, if you're a tribute artist, you know that. You know where to go. You know that's the place to be. And I've never got a chance to compete in the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Contest. I really, I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to compete in that, because I really think that I would have done well, but it wasn't in the cards and it wasn't to be. So here we are. But let me see. Let's get some evidence now. Some of the evidence of why I think that Elvis did not pass away in 1977 is that his life insurance policy has never been cashed in. Now, why would that be? If the man passed away, what are you saving it for? Who are you going to give it to? Lisa Marie couldn't touch it, and she knew it. Priscilla can't touch it. Well, she couldn't touch it anyway. She's not, you know, she wasn't his wife when he passed away. He was with Linda Thompson, I believe, and either Linda Thompson or Ginger Alden, and I can't remember for the life of me which one it was for sure, but it was one of the two, and I believe it was Linda Thompson. But of course, you know, they found his body in the bathroom, and you know, it was said that they tried to revive him, and he was taken to Baptist Memorial Hospital, and of course they tried to save his life. Did they? Was it even him? Or was that all a bunch of hoopla? I don't know. I don't know definitively. I wasn't there. But the evidence says otherwise. And that evidence goes to the casket, weighing 300 some odd pounds. Now, Elvis was overweight when he passed away, supposedly. But he didn't weigh as much as they said that casket weighed. And somebody actually said when they did the funeral, Tanya Tucker was there. Now, Tanya Tucker was a dear friend of the families and Elvis, as far as I know, because it was only, you know, they're close friends and people that knew the family and knew him that was invited to the funeral. The public, you know, the general public, they could view, you know, they could pass by the casket or whatever, but they couldn't, you know, they couldn't go into the ceremony and be, you know, in the funeral, you know, with the funeral services. But that's number two. And number three is Elvis's father. Oh no, wait! I didn't finish my Tanya Tucker comment there. I'm getting ahead of myself again. Tanya Tucker said that, and if you've ever seen the pictures of Elvis in the casket, he looks like a wax figure from the 50s that somebody didn't know what the hell they were doing when they tried to sculpt him up and put him in there. They did not do a good job if they were trying to cover that up. Because he looks like an overweight 50s Elvis. He doesn't look like he normally looked in the 70s. And that said, Tanya Tucker said she was at the funeral and she was just maybe 10 feet away from the casket. And she said it looked like whatever was in the casket was sweating. And people have said that the reason that the whatever was in the casket looked like it was sweating and the casket weighed so much was because they had air conditioners in the casket. Now, why would they have air conditioners in the casket if Elvis wasn't in the casket? Number one, if you're dead, you don't need air conditioning. And number two, that wasn't Elvis in the casket anyway. They were trying to keep the wax mannequin from melting. Okay? That's why. And it was said that there was a helicopter that landed on the back part of Graceland later in the afternoon. And they're saying that was where Elvis departed. And he left and he would never returned and never came back. Now, through the years, there have been sightings. Of course there's been sightings. Once Elvis went away, that's all I'm going to say. Once Elvis went away, we all started to surface. Now, one of the very first Elvis tribute artists' name was Johnny Hara. Johnny Hara was a really, really good looking Elvis. Not that, his resemblance was pretty close. And, with a lot of us being out there, back in the day when it started out, they said that more than likely Elvis could hide in plain sight. And that is because there are so many Elvis tribute artists in the world. I mean, who's going to question it? If you get on a plane with 20 of us and the real Elvis is on that plane, are you going to believe that that's Elvis? I don't think so. So, and that worked to his advantage. It really did, I feel like. At that point, it kind of freed him a little bit. And then he started going by the name of John Burroughs. Now, there was some evidence that said that John Burroughs had checked in some different places and did some different things, while he was traveling around and different stuff. And there could have been a cover-up. Now, the one thing that you have to remember is that Elvis went to Nixon in the White House. Elvis went to Nixon in the White House, and Elvis wanted a DEA badge. And that was the very famous Elvis meets Nixon meeting in 1969, if I'm not mistaken. But he wanted to be made an agent at large. Now, Elvis had a reach of a lot of folks, and he knew a lot of folks, and he thought that he could help the government. Not to mention, he was already deputized in Shelby County, and he was a lieutenant with the Denver Police Department. And, I mean, a lot of these titles were just honorary. But in Memphis, Elvis had the credentials. Elvis ran a blue light. And Elvis would stop you. Can you imagine getting pulled over by the king of rock and roll and get a ticket? Man, I'm telling you, you wouldn't want to pay that thing, right? That's some funny stuff right there. But yeah, so, and getting back to the funeral, Elvis's daddy, I guess he said that Elvis and him had a conversation about if, when he passed, that he wanted his daddy to get his ring off of his finger before they put him in the ground. So Vernon walked up to the casket and he pulled the ring off this thing's finger. And then, of course, he walked away. Well, when they buried whatever they buried in that casket, that ring and whatever else was in there that Elvis gave directions to his daddy to get out of the casket before they laid him under the ground. He did. He got it, pulled it. And why would he do that? I mean, if your son died and he's going to be put to rest, you're going to bury him with whatever he wants to be buried with. You're not going to get anything off of a body in a casket unless Elvis wanted it. So Elvis wanted his ring back. He wanted to be able to wear it. Now, I don't know where the man went. Somebody said the Bahamas. They say he might have went to the Bahamas. And he might have been there for some years. And folks have seen things around Graceland. They said that, the upstairs has always been secretive. You can't go up there. To this day, you can't go up there. I don't even think they would let Austin Butler go up there while they were filming or whatever, and he was like in with the family. I mean, he toured around the estate and went everywhere Elvis went. And man, I'm telling you what, that kid, man, he busted his hump. Doing that movie, I have so much respect for him. Now, I feel like, given the circumstances, I could have done it. I could have done it, and I could have nailed it, and I could have done a good job. But I'm telling you what, I don't feel like at this point, they could have found a better Elvis. But that would have been a hoot to be in that movie. And I heard whispers about it, auditions and things like that, but I never got a chance to audition for it. Of course, then this whole MS thing came in, bit me in the ass, and I'm dealing with it now. So that's why I don't perform anymore, because I'm fighting this thing. And but now there is a minister that has surfaced in some southern part of the country. I don't know where he's at. I think it was Arkansas. I thought I heard Arkansas, but I've been in Arkansas. I lived in Arkansas for about 7 years, and I mean, shoot, that's where I met my first wife. And but the whole thing about that is, if he's down there and he's singing and doing whatever, now come on, do you really think? Not to mention, he don't look 84 years old or 85 years old, or however Elvis would have been. Elvis was born in 1935. He supposedly passed away in 1977. How old does that make him? You do the math, because my math sucks. But I think it's around 85 years old. Not that, people can't live past that or whatever, but, I lost my mom when she was 42 years old. And when 42 rolled around for me, I got a little freaking freaked out. I thought maybe the curse was going to come on me. But, oh no, not the Elvis curse, But no, it never happened. And now I'm 52 and, doing my thing. So, but there has been tapes come out there was a show on TV, a special with Bill Bixby called The Elvis Files. Now, if you guys haven't checked that out, I strongly recommend that. Now, Elvis was in a movie. Well, actually, I should say Bill Bixby was in a movie with Elvis because Elvis was a star. I believe it was Clambake, I believe it was, or Spin Out, one of the two. And him and Elvis, they got along real well, and they were really good friends. So it was kind of neat that they chose Bill Bixby to host this thing. But the Elvis Tapes was a book that came out, and it actually came with a cassette tape of some recordings that supposedly Elvis had called this woman on the phone. Now, I'm here to tell you, I've heard them tapes, and they are really, really authentic sounding. What they talk about, why he did it, there's a whole slew of information in there. So if you're really up on this whole conspiracy thing, you definitely need to get your hands on that. That is crazy. That and the whole Orion situation. The Masked Singer Orion. There was a Masked Singer that came out a few years after Elvis supposedly left the building, is what we're going to say. And his name was Orion. Now this man sounded, and from what I've understood and what I've heard, just like Elvis Presley. And he looked a lot like Elvis Presley. He always wore a mask. He always wore one of those masquerade masks, so you couldn't see, you couldn't see his whole face. But, man, that was nuts. That was crazy. And then, of course, all the surfacing, everybody's saying, oh, I saw Elvis here, Elvis is at the Wendy's, and, Elvis is getting him a Frosty. Elvis is at Burger King. He was at this amusement park. I saw him at Disneyland. He was on this plane. And then getting into the movies, this blew me away, man. There was a guy in the movie Home Alone that is standing behind the mother at the airport when she's trying to get a ride back to Chicago to save Kevin. Well, not really save him, but just get back to him, because she's all freaked out because they left him. And this man, it was insane how much he looked like Elvis. And of course, give me a break. Elvis isn't going to be caught on film, right? Well, a lot of people thought it was him. They really, really did, and it does look a lot like him. I'll just say that, but of course there's been research done, and that's just been swept under the rug. It wasn't him, and if it was, we couldn't find out anyway. Right, because that's just how things are, and we can only know what we're supposed to know, and what we research. And what we come to find out ourselves. But that's what I know about the Elvis conspiracy. And, did Elvis leave the building in 1977? Yes, he did. He did leave the building in 1977. But I believe that he flew away on a helicopter to live his life. And I'm going to leave you with this on the whole conspiracy thing, and then we'll talk about something else. The reason that Elvis had to do what he did, in my opinion, is because Lisa Marie and Priscilla's lives were in danger. And for that matter, Elvis's life might have been in danger. Do you know that Elvis carried anywhere from 2 to 4 guns on his person. Now, the man was a black belt. He was a dangerous martial artist. Elvis was very serious about his karate. And he studied with some of the best. And he could have defended himself. I remember one time, at one point, there was a story about 4 guys coming on stage. And they rushed him. And he actually griped his whole team out, his security team, about, why didn't you leave me some, man? I want to take some of them out. But of course they were doing their job as bodyguards. They weren't letting no one get close to him. But so in my opinion, Elvis flew away on a helicopter in 1977. And that being said, like I said, the reason, in my opinion, was that not only Lisa Marie's life and Priscilla's life were in danger, but his life was in danger. Maybe because he was an agent at large. Maybe because he was involved doing some undercover stuff. Or deeper than that, maybe he's bigger than that in the government situation. I don't know. I can't tell you that, because that's stuff that's never been privy to me or anybody else for that matter, probably. But you talk to the Memphis Mafia, any of the guys, and a lot of them, have gone on since then. The DJ that used to play his albums all the time in Memphis, Klein, I forget what his first name is, but he used to play Elvis's albums and records all the time, and he was a good friend of him, of Elvis's, and he's gone on, and DJ Fontana, J.D. Sumner with that very beautiful baritone voice. There's just been countless people that were around Elvis and that got to be around him all the time and celebrate everything with him and share with him. That they're gone now. They've gone on. So, do I think that Elvis is still alive? Probably not. Probably not now. I don't know why we never found out if what the situation was, if he finally did succumb and leave this world, and if he did fly away in 1977, it was his life, man. He shared so much music and so much joy and so much magic with us for the first 42 years of his life. Leave him alone. Let him go. Let him be a happy memory, and how he touched us with his music and all the love and the magic that he shared with us. Now you let him be a part of your life, and you do the best tribute to him that you can. And I'm sorry, I'm getting wound up a little bit, but that kind of gets to me a little bit, because all of us wanted to do was share his music, his love, his laughter with the world, which he did. And it was a beautiful gift that he left us. But now we get to share that with the world and be the best that we can be and show them a recreation of that magic that Elvis shared with the world. That's what we get to do. That's the gift he left for us. So you embrace that and you treasure that. And you do the best tribute to that man that you can do. And always do your best. And you will always, always come off that stage feeling like $1,000,000. Oh look, I have a ghost in my vault. But I'm signing off for now. I want you guys to please like and subscribe and let me know what you think. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. What's left of it, because it's already 10:30, so I guess we're looking at about an hour and a half, and we'll be into the next week. Never know what's in store. But you guys take care and have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for tuning in, and be sure and hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.